do again.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing today?
Good to see you again.
My name's Kyle Fober.
Terrence Woolsey.
And we are
My Senses Consensus.
Now today our episode is called Choice.
That's right. Who makes the choices for us and who gives us the options on what choices we can make?
You know, growing up, I thought we made the choices, Terry.
Well, I think we're learning a lesson from our politicians that we put a lot of faith in the past, and we put a lot of energy and a lot of effort into that to try to move them in the direction we want them to go. And it seems like they're not going that direction.
Yeah.
We're going to be dealing with today the number 10 question, because the other 9 really are redundant questions, irrelevant. They already know the answers to those questions. This is just a ploy to distract.
This boggles my mind. Didn't Danielle Smith say if we got 178,000 votes, we would get
signatures,
the signatures.
Verified signatures.
Verified signatures. We would get the question promised for this referendum in October. Now, she switched the question.
Well, not only the process by which she switched the question, she had her Elections Alberta people decide that the court should decide, which is contrary to the Canadian Constitution. It's the people are supposed to decide in a referendum.
So she's been bought out.
Well, I would say so, yeah.
She's hanging out with Carney too much, with the Oxford boy.
I think the banker knows how to feather nests.
Well, you know, his wife's pretty good too. She went to the same school as Kate Middleton, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I think maybe Danielle Smith, she's having some nice dinners. She's having good. They're saying, hey, we can make you the next prime minister. Do you want to help bury the country some more? And she's saying, well, geez, I really like this steak.
Yeah.
You know? We don't have good enough in Alberta.
She's moving sides of the fence. So for quite a while, we've been touting her as being a good conservative. And she's come on to podcasts time and time again, telling Ottawa that they need to get into their own lane, they need to do their thing properly and leave us alone, and pushing towards independence. She passed legislation, the Sovereignty Act, so that we could get there, and now she's flopped on it. She's flipped and flopped on that, and so we're going to see how deceptive she has been by just examining question number 10, because I'm not going to worry about questions 1 through 9. Question number 10. And question number 10, let's go into it in depth and see if she's not framing the question for her own benefit that will automatically try to destroy the independent movement. Number 1, she says this: Alberta should remain a province in Canada. That's option 1. So that's a clear question. That's great. But then she goes down and says the government of Alberta should commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada.
That's a stab in the back. Literally, we worked our tails off. Some people sacrifice work. Some people sacrifice time with their people have been giving up so much to make sure that we were going to have a choice for our kids. And this is what I don't get. You know, Danielle Smith, the Wild Rose Party had a hard time when you stabbed them in the back. And I was telling everyone, hey, she's doing it for the greater good, for our children, for this, that. And now that you've switched this question, we all feel you've sold out and it's time for you to leave then. If this is how it's going to be, Danielle, then why are you our leader? You're completely contradicting everything that we believed in you. This is despicable. It's disgusting. And frankly, I don't know how she's sleeping at night.
Right. So she's taken and used the exact thing that I've talked about before, which is she's making the decision on behalf of Albertans and saying that Albertans supporting her. And in order to get that support, she frames the question in such a way that you say, yeah, I'm going to give you permission to go commence a process. No, I'm not going to give you permission to do that. Absolutely not. And you don't need permission from the federal government to negotiate with them at all.
You know, I don't want to get too much into this, but I feel, you know, a lot of people that are voting Liberal do have mental illness, you know what I mean? And when you put questions complex like this, somebody who has a hard time thinking clearly, how are they going to know? Keep it simple. You know, it's like the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Give them, I'm talking to you, Danielle Smith, give them normal questions so they can make a normal decision. But no, you're going to make it so complex that we already got half the population voting to suicide themselves without even realizing. We need somebody who actually cares about the people. And you made us think it. You know what? I've seen a lot of people putting you in place, Danielle, and they made me think it too. Now we're all confused. Can you please give us some clarity on this?
Well, I think she has given us clarity. The clarity
She
is...
stabbed us in the back.
That's right. The clarity is this. She says, now I'm saying you can hold a binding referendum. Like, why don't you just do a poll? Why are you going to spend all this money?
You know what this is? You know what this is? This reminds me of Jeremiah, right? Even good people can falter due to weakness, fear, right? Or self-interest.
Right.
So Danielle Smith it's either fear or self-interest, and I'm saying it's both.
Right.
I think it's both. Because
sure.
for you to do this to the people, you might as well just pour the gas on and light us up now, Danielle Smith.
Yeah. So first of all, you give us the right to hold a referendum. We get the 178,000 signatures, way over the amount we needed to get.
Well, how many did we get? We got
700,000 people that said they wanted to have a referendum. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I don't care which side of the fence you're on.
But we should all get it. A lot of people were scared to fill out the form because they know the government's so corrupt. People are dying everywhere. People don't even want to fill out the form, but they want to vote. I had people say, hey, I'm proud of what you guys are doing because we were scared to do that, but we will be there voting with you.
Right.
So how many people are on the fence like that? They're just scared. They're just waiting for the vote. Now they're not even going to get a vote.
Well, if you believe in democracy, democracy is not here. We're going to let you collect these signatures, and then we're going to say, okay, you can have a form of a referendum, but we frame the questions.
Yeah.
And this is where it's slimy. Okay, this is the flip-flop. Here's 9 questions that are already decided that we know people are in favor of. So you're going to go yes, 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 yes. And number 10, you're going to go yes, yes again. No, we're not going to go yes, yes.
It's like telling your kid, hey, you get all this done, we're going to take you to Disneyland. All the chores, yeah, Mom, yeah, Dad, they get it all done. Well, not just the chores of this house. There's another 10 houses, but then we're going to go back and do the same house again.
Right.
And, like, it just doesn't make sense, right? Well, that's what she's doing, too.
She kicked the can down the road.
She has lost her mind.
Yeah, and she's gone to the far side.
Yeah.
The dark side with Carney.
I wonder if there's a pill that makes them do that.
I don't know.
You know?
But the fact is,
Don't give it to us.
you can't win this referendum the way she set it up here.
She set us up to fail.
Let's say we say yes to the first one. Then she's going to go and commence a legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding referendum. Like, that's kicking the can down the road. So after we say yes to the first one, now...
When does her thing come up again?
The delay will be how long? However long she wants it to be.
Yeah,
so,
and that's what I'm asking. When does she come up? Like, when is...
Well, we can't hold another referendum according to the rules that they've created, the politicians created, we can't hold a referendum within 1 year of the next provincial election, which is next year. So if she kicks this can down the road into 2027, and then she'll say, well, sorry, we can't have the referendum because according to the rules, which she created, so that means she manipulated everybody, so they will kick the can into 2029. Because you can't do it a year after either. So, you only got a 2-year window.
So it's looking like she's got a taste of power and she wants to keep it.
A 2-year window. How long did it take us to get to the point where we collect signatures? We've been doing this for a couple of years already. A couple of years. So she pushed it, because she makes the rule. I say, we don't play in her sandbox any longer. Because Our politicians shouldn't be making our rules for us.
No, that's what we're trying to get. That's the whole point of why we put Danielle Smith in power, was so they could no longer do that.
Yeah, so
and
if
she
you-
promised to not allow this to happen.
So if you want to make a choice, if you want to decide, it's not the politician that you elected that should be deciding. They're deciding the questions. They're deciding to kick
We
this down
should
the
get to
road.
pick the questions. We should get to decide the vote, and we should be the example for the rest of the world. Because what makes Alberta so special? People say, "Oh, Albertans, they think they're so special." Yeah, they are. Why? Because they make up of people from around the world. You know what? It doesn't matter if they're 5 generations ago, 6, or if they came last week. Right? We want to see everyone prevail here and throughout the rest of the world too. That's what you guys don't get. We all are attached to other provinces, other states, other countries. True. We love everywhere, but we don't love the way we're all being treated. We don't agree with it, and neither should you. We all should stand. You want to know why Elon Musk is building the rocket ships to space? Because once all you know what we know, they're all going to have to leave because they won't be allowed to run anything anymore.
Interesting. So the bottom line is this. If you really want a real choice, you have to, first of all, form the question, and secondly, vote on it without interference from the government. Now here we've got Danielle Smith has taken a side. This is the government taking the side of the stay in Canada people. She's on Carney's side. She's on...
Who are bought and paid for by Carney, by the way.
Yeah, she's
the one's
on,
leading it.
She's on Nenshi's side, the NDP. She's on that side of the fence now. She is no longer our friend.
Do you know who pays...
and we paid her to do that.
What's his name there, Nenshi? What's his name?
Yeah.
Do you know who pays him?
NDP.
No, there's evil organizations that pay people like him, right? And you've heard of Soros.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're funding him. And 100%.
Yeah, well, I don't doubt it because the Indian...
How else could you be corrupt
chiefs,
and get away with
Indian
it?
chiefs, the same thing.
Yeah, they're getting... Yeah, exactly.
Same thing, right?
The ones standing for the people aren't.
The people on the reserves favor this stuff. And they're afraid of their chief because they hold the money and they don't get...
Well, and they've been threatening a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
Said,
absolutely.
if I see you around there, you won't be getting your check this week because you know what? They're being pressured, so now they're pressuring their people. Right. Everything comes down to change,
so
good or bad.
If you want a choice, you have to reject this.
We have to reject it now. I'm going to be writing her a letter today.
Right. You have to reject this if you want a choice because she's giving you no choice. You can't win this if you say yes to any of those.
It's an absolute joke.
You cannot win this.
Well, obviously, I'm going to say no to all of them.
You want to lose your voice? Say yes to this stuff. You want your voice? Say no. Overwhelmingly, if you rejected equalization payments by 62%, you should reject this also. So that's where I'm coming from, and that's where we need to go if you're going to do it. And if you don't do this, there's a very, very slim chance that you'll get your voice ever again. This is your chance.
This is our chance to get back to normalcy. You know, it's like buying organic ketchup, right? It tastes like ketchup used to taste, right? Things can go back if we make the changes, right? And most of the world will never go back because they don't have people fighting to try to make it like this. So Alberta's the example for the world. If we can't do it, no one can. Yeah. That's what I believe.
Danielle Smith used to say, direct democracy, direct democracy.
Oh, she talked about them spraying over our heads. You can find all the articles. She talked about them poisoning our food, spraying over our heads. Danielle Smith was the biggest activist for the people, which is why they put her in. And now it looks like she's sold out completely.
She did. She says she wants to be in Canada forever. What is Canada forever right now? What is it?
A suicide mission.
It's on a downward spiral, and it's going into can.
Property taxes are how much around the country, and people are thinking, oh, well, that's normal. No, it's not. You pay how much taxes, people. Again, we go back to the Saudi Arabia, right? When slavery existed, they were only paying 30%. We're paying over 50. Do the math from the grocery store to your paycheck to everything. When will people wake up and say, hey, enough's enough. Start sending if we all sent letters every day to our MLAs and harassed them the way they're harassing our lives, maybe we can make some changes. But most Canadians just sit there like this in the hammock, you know?
They won't. They'll just kick the can down the road, and then they'll frame the question, and then you'll have to do it. Vote UPC, not NDP. If you vote the NDP, you're going to be back in that same situation. They are NDP.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. I talked to, you know, some pro golfers in Kananaskis on the weekend, right? And the guy said to me, you know, he had Canada on his hat, right? And he says, you know, he is pro Alberta, obviously, because this is where he lives, but he would like to see Pierre win the Conservatives and help fix the country again. And I said, you know what, that's a wholeheartedly statement, and you know what, I could tell the guy's a really good guy, really good person, and I told him I wish for that too. I said we all wish for that, but I already know it's not going to happen. I already know Pierre is a sellout, and how you know that, okay, is so simple. If you look at the US people that are releasing stuff, right, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, the list goes on. We're not getting into that today, but the whole point is just look at the people that are spilling the truth and care more about helping the people than their own you know, reputation in the political game. But what has Pierre told us? He went on Joe Rogan and he says, you know, there's some valid complaints. You know, he didn't talk about any bad things that have happened to us. He just kind of, you know, whatever. And right there, I could tell that he doesn't care about anyone but himself. Because if you truly cared about people, you couldn't keep your mouth quiet. But they're all scared. I go back to that Jeremiah quote. They're all scared and they're protecting their interests. I get it. You know what? Hey, if there's a gun to your head, it's a lot harder, right? But you know what? Some people don't care because they work for God. And that's the people that have to stand up now. If you feel the spirit inside you, now's the time to stand up. Give us a call, right? You can reach us at mycensusconsensus@gmail.com. We would love to do more podcasts, have more people coming on. You can join Terry for an episode. You can join me for an episode. We want to do this with the community, and you know, we care about your opinions. We care about the changes, and we want to fix these questions before it's too late. So if anyone else, you know, sees that this is a problem, please, let's get on it fast, because we don't have long before October, and if we don't win this October, I fear we're never going to have another chance. What do you think, Terry?
Absolutely agree, 100%. So remember, mycensusconsensus@gmail.com. Get a hold of us. Let's get this done.
Thank you all. Take care.